Hey guys, here is another tutorial. This one is for Firefly, aka tittibhasana. It's a arm balance. I keep on wanting to say forearm stand. No idea why. Firefly, arm balance. As always, it's going to be mainly cues with a few tips and tricks thrown in along the way. And I'm going to start out by giving you two big tips and tricks of mine. Two things that I've figured out while playing with this pose for years now. One is, whether you're new to the pose and you're just starting out, or you've been playing with it for a long time and you're trying to get your legs straighter, warm up your hammies first. Just warm them up. It makes the pose a heck of a lot more accessible when it comes to not only lowering down into the pose and getting into it and then bringing your feet together, but then also once your feet are up off the ground, to extending your legs out, to getting to that pretty picturesque version of Firefly. And that kind of segues into my second tip and trick, and that is, if you have perpetually tight hamstrings, just engage the pose. Still do the pose. Don't let that be a barrier from you practicing Firefly pose, because guess what? You don't need to have those perfectly straight legs to practice this pose, okay? That's not the point of Firefly, and that's not the point of yoga either, is to have that perfect picturesque variation of a pose that you can see in the yoga textbooks and that you see all the yoga masters doing, because that's not what yoga is about. Yoga is a practice. It is not a competition. It's not like, a sports game that you have to do everything perfectly every single time. It's a practice. So some days, yeah, maybe your legs are straighter than other days, and then other days your feet are stuck together. That's okay, because that's your practice on that day on your mat. So yeah, I guess that whole random tangent is, don't let tight hamstrings keep you from practicing this pose. Because as a runner, I know I have perpetually tight hamstrings, and I also have an old knee injury that is thankfully has been repaired, and it was repaired years ago, but my body is still protecting my left leg because of it. And so, tell you what, there is a reason why my dancer's pose will never have the perfectly straight standing leg and the perfectly straight bent leg, lifted leg. It's because A, I have tight hamstrings, and B, my body still protects this left knee. And it's the same way in tittibhasana. I know that my left leg will never be perfectly straight because of my old knee injury, because my body's protecting it. So, yeah, if you have anatomical things like I do, or you're a runner, or you just have tight hamstrings, my point is, don't let that prevent you from doing this pose and from practicing yoga, period. Little rant there, I guess. Anyways, let's go ahead, and I'm going to start cueing down Firefly. And there's two ways I like to get into it. One's from Malasana, the other one is from a forward fold. And so I'll do Malasana first, because I feel like that's the more beginner-friendly one. So for Malasana, your low yogi squat, you're going to take your hands, and you're going to take them back behind your heels directly. And there's like 2 to 3 inches between my hands and my heels. And then from here, I'm just going to lower my hips down a little bit. My arms are bent until my thighs are resting on my triceps. And my elbows and arms automatically bend when I place my hands back behind me, okay? I'm going to walk my hands back an inch more. And from here, I'm going to look up, and I'm going to begin to wiggle walk my feet in so my big toes are touching, okay? And from here, I'm going to take a teeny tiny shift back in my weight. I'm going to take my hips an inch or two back more behind me, shifting my weight back. And then I'm going to press into my hands, and I'm engaging my quads here. I'm going to lift my feet up off the ground. And bam, you're in the pose, okay? And once you're here, you can do 2 different things to begin to deepen the pose. One, you can begin to straighten out your arms and lift a little higher. And the second thing you can do is you can begin to straighten out your legs here, okay? And then when you're ready to come out, you can do 1 or 2 things. You can bring your feet together, and you can lower down nice and gracefully, or you can just plop your butt back like I just did. I would recommend, for any arm balance and any version, learning how to fall, okay? Because the chance is you're going to fall out of the pose a lot more when you're first starting out than you are. When you're first starting out, you're going to fall a lot more than you are going to stay in the pose perfectly. My brain and my mouth were not in sync there. How to slow down for a second. So anyways, you can either go down gracefully, deconstructing the pose as you came in, or you can just fall. And one big tip is, when you bring your feet together and you shift your weight back a little bit, your body might want to fall back a little bit more. And you're going to feel your weight shifting back, and you're going to have a moment of, oh my goodness, I'm going to fall. Embrace it. Fall if you want to. Or maybe embrace it a little bit more and be like, you know what, no, I'm not going to fall. and keep on going deeper into the pose and lifting up. And at any point, if you feel like you're about to fall backwards out of the pose, just fall. I can't tell you how many times I feel like that. And that embracing the sensation of falling is really important, because as you begin to practice more advanced arm balances and you begin to practice inversions, the sense that you're going to fall out of the pose is going to be more frequent than the sense that you're going to stay up in the pose. And so you just got to embrace it, and eventually that sense of, oh, I'm going to fall out of the pose goes away within a few seconds. And you're like, no, I'm not going to fall. I'm going to be good. And so just a random tip and trick for a lot of different things there. And now I'm going to show you front view how to do it from a forward fold. And so from your forward fold, your feet are hips width distance apart. And you're going to take your hands back behind you. Again, a couple inches behind. And you begin to lower your hips down towards the mat until they come down to touch on your triceps. Your forearms are bent, your arms are bent here. And again, you wiggle walk your toes together, okay? And you shift your weight back a little bit. I'm going to scoot up a little bit because I just bumped into my bookshelf. Scoot your weight back a little bit, press into your palms, lift up your feet. Okay, and again, you can begin to straighten out your legs here if you want. Still gazing up. Your gaze can be straight up like this, or it can be down on the mat about 3-4 feet out in front of you, whatever's best for your neck. And then with time, you can begin to straighten out your arms. Okay? Oof. That was a graceful flow. You saw, brought my legs in a little bit, and slowly with control, lowered my bottom down to the mat. Another tip and trick, last tip and trick I'll give, is play with straightening your arms first, and then extending out your legs, and extending out your legs first, and then straightening out your arms. It depends on your body, which one feels best for you. Sometimes you need to straighten your arms first to be able to straighten out your legs, so you can get a few extra inches of clearance, and to get your arms out of the way to allow your hamstrings to open up a little bit more. And then sometimes you need your elbows and your triceps pressing into your hamstrings to get that straightening sensation, so that way you physically have something to press into so you can lengthen out your legs. And then you can begin to press your hands down on the mat if you want to. So yeah, that is tittibhasana pose. Oh, wait, one more tip. Sometimes, regardless if you're first starting out or you're more advanced, it is easier to balance in the pose if your feet are together. And then sometimes it's easier to spread your legs out, and that's a better counterbalance. Again, it depends on your body. This is one of those poses that the entrance into the pose, if you straighten your legs out, if you straighten your arms first or your legs first, and then what you even do to counterbalance, all depends on your body. This is a huge anatomical pose. So just keep that in mind. Play with it. See what works best for your body. So anyways, yeah, that is tittibhasana pose. A lot of tips and tricks in there. One little rant. Sorry about that. But that's just something I'm really passionate about. But anyways, to break it down again real quick. Hands go back behind your heels, like 3 to 4 inches. You lower your hips down so that way your elbows, your triceps, and your thighs are touching. Then you wiggle walk your feet in together so your big toes are touching, and you can stay there, that's the pose. Or you can shift your weight back like a millimeter or 2, maybe a centimeter, and then press into your hands and lift your feet up, and you're in the pose. That is tittibhasana. And then if you want to extend out your legs, you're more than welcome to, or you can keep your feet together for as long as you need to. So yeah, tittibhasana right there, Firefly pose. As always, I hope this helps you in your arm balance adventure, and I hope this helps you for Firefly. Don't know why I keep on wanting to say for instead. Helps you with your Firefly. I hope you have a great day. Namaste.